David, you're getting ready for your next fight on your return. How's it going in training?
Yeah, training's going good. Working hard. Me and Shane McGuigan, sort of behind closed doors, working diligently on making me the best possible fighter I can be. I have a style. I've always had a style, but it's just refining it and making my weaker areas as strong as my strong areas. So it's lots of work to do, believe it or not, but I'm enjoying every day in the gym. I'm learning, and it's a nice experience. And I'm physically in great shape. There's no issues. My shoulder, for instance, it's rock solid. I'm punching harder than ever, and it's a good time to be a heavyweight right now.
Well, before we go on to that, you've been boxing 25 years now, since you're about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
What's it like being told by someone younger than you what to do in the gym?
It's interesting, man. Yeah, you're right. I've been boxing for 26 years now. 26 years I've been boxing and competing. So Shane McGuigan's 27. But the fact that his father was Barry McGuigan definitely helps. The fact that he was taken all over the country when his father was doing obviously commentary work for Sky and ITV, and he was the little kid at the time getting brought around to all these shows. So he's been sitting there from the undercard all the way to the main event, watching boxing, studying boxing, to understand what styles beat what styles, when someone looks hurt, are they. So he's been, without realising it, studying the game for a long time. He's a very good amateur in his own right, and he's a very, very good coach. He's, I believe, the best on the planet. And the fact that he's 27 years old is insane.
The heavyweight mess, should we call it, at the moment? Klitschko or Vladimir is saying he won't fight again this year because of a leg injury. What do you make of it all as it stands at the moment?
I always thought the fight with, when it was spoken about early doors, is when I heard that everybody agreed. But knowing Vladimir Klitschko, he obviously had other ideas. The fact that the fight wasn't announced for the vacant WBA title, apparently, I'm only going by what I've heard in the media. His team said they wanted to obviously fight for that vacant title, and if that title wasn't on the line, he would do something else. But that only leaves 7 weeks to the fight. It's not a long time to promote, arrange a big heavyweight fight. So maybe Vladimir needs a bit longer in training camp. As he's a little older now, he's 40 years old. Maybe he'd prefer a solid 12-week training camp going into a fight with a Joshua, for instance. So the fact that it's taken so long to get things together, I think maybe they've just pulled the plug and said, okay, we're going to fight Joshua, but we're going to need a bit more time. So I assume Joshua's going to fight Molina, I think it is, the guy that Chris Arreola knocked out in one round. Is that the same guy, right? Yeah, so that shouldn't be hard work for Joshua. So keeps Joshua unbeaten, keeps him busy. So he'll probably fight Klitschko maybe in sort of March, April.
Where does it all leave you at the moment? Are you going to fight again this year?
That's the plan. The plan is to fight again this year. So there's a few things happening behind the scenes that we got to wait. We got to iron out. But yes, exciting times for me. The fact that I'm in the gym every day, the fact that I'm healthy, and the fact that as it appears the heavyweight division is kind of in disarray at the moment. But I'm in a good place. Whether I know in 2017 I will be world champion again. I'm very, very confident of that. It's all about being patient in this game. In the past, in my earlier years, I've been very impatient. I've always wanted it now. I've always had this, time limit. Like I have to unify all the belts by this date. I know I said before I was 31, I had to win. So the moment I won the heavyweight title, I was on a mad scrabble to get a few defences in and unify the belts. It's nice not to have that unnecessary pressure on me. So if the fight happens this month, okay, next month, I'm easy. As long as I'm healthy, as long as training's going well, I'm okay. I haven't got that much damage. If you look how many fights Vladimir Klitschko's had compared to myself, how many hard training camps, how many hard sparring camps he's had, how many fights, how many times he's been knocked out, how many times he's gone 12 rounds. Compare that to me, I'm very, very fresh. I've got no miles on the clock. I haven't had a hard fight for well over 10 years. So I'm in boxing terms, very, very little damage has been done to my head, which in the big scheme of things slows somebody down, not only mentally but physically in a fight. The more punches you take, the slower your reflexes get, the slower your punch output is. So I'm fortunate that I'm at a stage where I've just turned 36, and I have, in my opinion, 0 miles on the clock. You know, the injuries that may have flared up, I believe now are completely 100% healed, and I've made sure I've worked them so much that they're stronger than they was before. So I'm cool. I'm happy. You know, I know everybody wants to know what's happening now. That's boxing fans need information, whether it's the wrong information. So I just said, as soon as I know what's happening, everybody else will know.